Hello and welcome to World in 5. President Mnangagwa has arrived in Beijing ahead of the forum on China-Africa cooperation set to September 4 to 6. The official visit, his first since 2018, and then the FOCAC, which starts on Wednesday, could unlock more trade and investment opportunities. China is one of Zimbabwe's biggest trade partners and the largest source of foreign direct investment. Before departure for Beijing, we crossed over to Zim Papers correspondent Fungi Kwaramba, who gave us an update on the Nanjing tour.
President Mnangagwa has wound up his visit to the city of Nanjing, Jiangsu province. In the commercial hub of China, the president met with the Communist Party's leadership and invited Chinese investors to consider investing in Zimbabwe. Yesterday, the president also visited Nanjing Military Command, where he went military training 6 decades ago. The president, who is expected in Beijing today ahead of meetings with the Chinese President Xi Jinping, will also visit other Chinese multilateral companies before he departs.
Meanwhile, Vice President Kembo Mohadi is leading Zimbabwe's delegation at the Second Indonesia-Africa Forum and the High-Level Forum on Multi-Stakeholder Partnership, which aims at deepening political and economic relations. The forum is running under the theme Bandang Spirit for Africa's Agenda 2063. Indonesia and Africa have great potential for cooperation with a combined gross domestic product of $4.4 trillion and a population of 1.7 billion. Speaking on the sidelines of the forum, Vice President Kembo Mohadi said Zimbabwe is looking into investment opportunities and also opening up new export markets, especially in the mining and medical sectors.
What we are trying to do is try to get Africa, develop together with Africa, and we have a lot in common. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're trying to provide. And then we're also looking at areas that we lack, especially in Zimbabwe. What areas can we then try to have synergies with Indonesia in terms of production of items, or in terms of mining itself, because they are very good at beneficiating here. So we would also want them to assist us that when we produce whatever we produce, be it agricultural products or mining products, we need to beneficiate them other than selling them raw. So this conference has been very, very important to us.
And now we turn to some local politics where opposition party, the Zimbabwe-African National Congress, has already launched its 2028 election manifesto just a year after the country held its harmonized elections. The party says it wants to be the alternative voice in Zimbabwe's politics while recognizing the work that incumbent President Emmerson Mnangagwa has done since assuming power. Timothy Mncube, leader of the Zimbabwe-African National Congress, said the party will use the coming years to introduce themselves to the electorate with the hope of garnering a significant number of seats in 2028.
Our party is committed to building on the solid foundation laid by the current administration, focusing on inclusive growth, improved service delivery, and grassroots empowerment. We applaud the current government's achievements in infrastructure development, the expansion of Harare International Airport, the construction of new roads, and the rehabilitation of our public transportation system. They have greatly improved connectivity and access to markets.
We now move on to court stories from Kimberly Chimalanga.
An alleged drug dealer, Tinotenda Nyaoma, appeared in court today facing charges of unlawful possession of crystal meth. He was served from CID Drugs and Narcotics, who pretended to be buyers. It was during the scuffle with police that he had his teeth on the detective's arm. Representing the state, Rufaro Chonzi opposed bail. The case will resume on 3 September for state and defense to file their submissions.
On a sad note, 5 more Zimbabweans died on Sunday when a Tamuka coaches bus they were traveling in was involved in a road accident in South Africa's Limpopo province. The bus had left Newton in the afternoon heading for Harare when it had a tire burst and rolled, killing 5 people, including the driver, on the spot. Limpopo's Department of Transport and Community Safety confirmed the accident.
This is the second fatal accident in less than 5 days affecting cross-border public transport operations. This gives rise to the suspicion that these drivers do not get enough rest before undertaking these long journeys. MEC Mate has sent messages of condolences to the families of the deceased and wished the injured passengers a speedy recovery.
In other news, a former childcare worker in Australia has pleaded guilty to raping and sexually abusing dozens of young girls under his care for over 20 years. Ashley Paul Griffith confessed to committing 307 offences at childcare centres in Brisbane and Italy between 2003 and 2022. Most of Griffith's victims were under the age of 12. The charges against him included 28 counts of rape, 190 counts of indecent treatment, 67 counts of making child exploitation material, 4 counts of producing such material, and 1 count of distributing it. He was arrested after thousands of photographs and videos related to his abuse were uploaded onto the dark web. Police believe he recorded all his offences on his phones and cameras. And that's all we had for you on World in 5.